Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing? I promise to make this talk very practical and relevant to everybody in the audience, whether you work for a small company or a large company.
Starting around 2015, 2016, I became really fascinated with how these technologies like AI and robotics and automation were actually impacting the future of work, whatever that future of work meant. And so I started studying it to try to understand what was the impact on society, what was the impact of jobs, what was the impact on people from all walks of background. And I came to the conclusion that the best way for us to compete and win in this exponential world is actually to double down on those unique capabilities that are unique to us as humans and give us competitive advantage vis-a-vis technology. And I shifted my focus from studying exponential technologies to studying exponential humans. And for the last 4 years, I've been coaching behavior change with some of the world's most well-known companies and fastest-growing startups, helping them develop high-performing exponential teams that can have the muscle to thrive and win no matter what uncertainty brings and no matter what the future of technology brings.
The pandemic made us reassess all of our assumptions about how we live, how we work, how we learn, how we socialize. And I think it's really important as we go into this new era of hybrid work that we don't lose sight of the workplace innovations that came about over the last couple of years. I spent the last 2 years with my dear friend Keith Ferrazzi doing a massive research project with Harvard Business School. We interviewed over 2,000 executives, entrepreneurs, change makers from all across the world, from all kinds of organizations, to better understand what was the practical things they did to be able to make their organizations resilient and successful in a world of uncertainty and change.
The thesis that we had was that the most successful teams that we identified from the last 2 years had what we call this muscle of radical adaptability. Radical adaptability is a philosophy that is predictive, it's progressive, and it's proactively looking to lean into the future. Rather than being reactive, which is what adaptability is, we wanted to develop a mindset that people can be proactive, seeking that change. If you take analog, traditional ways of working and layer on top of that Zoom, that does not equal digitalization. That does not equal reinventing how you work. Zoom or WebEx, these are just one channels of communication. The teams that really struggled were the ones that weren't using these technologies effectively. But I promise you that there are also opportunities that we identified that we can radically improve productivity by using these digital channels, by leaning into Zoom or Teams to have maximum inclusion of voices from different backgrounds, different diversity, different experiences, and to be able to really innovate more quickly, make decisions more quickly, and have more resilient teams.
I think the organizations that are thinking about doubling down on going back to the office, on doing things that they used to do in the past, they're going to go back to work. Those organizations that have gotten rid of these myths of collaboration, of inclusion, of resilience, they are the ones that are going to thrive in this new world of work. The choice is really up to you. I know what I would choose. I'm not going to repaint the old car that I have when instead I can use the spaceship that's sitting in my garage. That's how I collaborate. We can't struggle through 2021 like we did again in 2020.
Because I strongly believe that we're living in this new era of work, and we have to radically change all of our assumptions for how we communicate and collaborate to really maximize innovation. 70% of Gen Z right now is looking for work and changing their jobs. And they're looking for new ways of living and new ways of working. The thing I want you to take away from this is that in this new world of work, intentionality and purposefulness is so critical to how we succeed. You as leaders have to design the incentives and the collaborative models in order to succeed in this new era because the newer generations demand it. So you may have heard of this idea of the Great Resignation, but I think it is generally a misnomer.
The Great Resignation is a story of those organizations that are not willing to change and are not willing to adapt to the future. And it's happening because they're not changing their behaviors, they're not changing their attitudes. They're not trying to meet people where they're at. The pandemic made all of us change how we live and work, and it changed our expectations of how we want to live. And right now employees are they're exploring sort of where is this new place that I should go work at that meets my post-pandemic expectations.
They are not changing their model. They're not leaning into this great exploration that everybody on the planet literally is going through right now, right? And it just astounds me because companies haven't really applied to employees what they learned over the last few years to their customers. You can't force a customer to buy something from you in a shop. They want to buy it online, they want to buy it on Facebook, they want to buy it on social. Well, we need to apply the same kind of mentality to our employees. We need to meet them where they're at. And if you don't meet them where they're at, we're going to have this significant problem of how we lead in this new world of work.
I hope that when you're leaving this amazing conference and you're going back to the office or virtual office, you take some of these great insights you've learned from the last couple of days and say, rather than go back to work, let's go forward to work.